you know, I've never seen it happen. I'm 32 years old and I've never even heard of this happening. And I've asked a lot of people who are much older than me, almost double my age, and they have never seen anything like this before. The stores are out of toilet paper, the stores are out of, you know, bread, meat, eggs, you know, whatever. And I've always wanted to do this. I've always wanted to homestead and try to live off the land as much as possible. So, you know, I'm kind of scattering around getting everything ready for the farmer's market, you know, but I'm also, I know in the back of my mind that I also have plenty of food out here. You know, I'm getting all this food ready, you know, and while everyone runs out of the food that they've stocked up on and the supermarkets are short, I know that I've got food coming up, you know, anytime now. You know, I've got kale that I planted a couple weeks ago, and it's, I mean, I've realized, you know, the ducks have started laying eggs. I didn't even realize it. And they laid, you know, I checked them yesterday and there was just my 2 decoy eggs. And then I checked them today, and I'm not even sure how this is possible, but I got 4 ducks and there was 12 eggs there. So I don't even know how that's possible that, you know, 4 ducks could lay a dozen eggs apiece, you know, between the 4 of them. That's a lot. You know, I didn't even know they were all females, but so that just goes to show, you know, having these things, you know, we're not going to run out of eggs. Now we have, you know, we maybe eat 3 or 4 eggs a day on average, and that's probably way more than usual. And a duck egg, you know, a couple duck eggs, you know, so that if we get that, you know, even every other day, we're gonna have more than enough. We'll be able to help the neighbors out. So the answer to where am I gonna get my food, you know, it's in your backyard. It's preparing. It's the just in case. It's I have it there just in case. So I've got some other projects and stuff going on. But of course, I've been going around and getting everything ready. You know, it just has a little bit more meaning when things like this happen. It's probably all gonna be okay, you know. Everything's probably gonna go back to normal soon, we hope. But, you know, the next time it might not. And we just never know. We live in a time of uncertainty all the time. And it's just best to be prepared. And people think that people who prepare and, you know, you call them preppers or whatever. I don't really consider myself in that bunch, but just these people who want to learn how to go back to the land, live off the land. You know, we're called crazy sometimes, but there's something about not having to rely on a really broken, terribly orchestrated food system for our nutrients. You know, most of these foods that are in grocery stores are not good for us. They're not fresh. They don't taste good. You know, so my question is more like, not why do you want to do this? Why do you want to, you know, learn how to homestead, learn how to grow your own food, raise your own meat, hunt for your own meat? Why would you want to do that? And my question is, why not? Why wouldn't you? Let's stop relying so much. I mean, sure, it's great. I'll go get some Doritos every once in a while. I love Oreos. You know, that stuff, when it's there, it's great. It's not good for you. You shouldn't eat it all the time. But every once in a while, it's all right. But it's just, why wouldn't you be prepared a little bit? You know what? Yeah, we're getting to about that point, aren't we? So, I've got a whole bunch of grass and stuff that's grown up around my grapevines. And you can see this one's already finished burning out. So it looks a lot better. But you like check out this one over here. It's got grass growing up all around it. So instead of like trying to weed eat and all that stuff, I'm just burning the grass. It's dry enough right now. It just rained several times. The ground is super wet. And so I don't think it has any chance of spreading. And if it does, it's gonna be easy to put out. But it is long enough that the brown dead grass,
that kind of greenish.
Well, the green grass is the new grass. It's, you know, it's wet and stuff, and so it's not gonna have as much effect on it and burning it, but it's gonna kill the old grass. It's gonna burn that, and it shouldn't affect the grapes whatsoever. So once they're all burned around here, I can go in here and I can prune them really well, and those grapes can mostly withstand and grow back from that, because most of the power of excuse me, they're not grapes, they're blackberry bushes. but most of their nutrients and stuff and the network is underneath of the ground. And so even if I did burn these, this is kind of a drastic measure. And so you'd rather, you know, just keep the weeds away, weed them really good, and keep them mulched. But since when I got here, they were already kind of so grown up, I'm electing to do this. Even if I don't have a crop next year, I can at least get them all mulched, taken care of, pruned up, and they'll be ready for the next year, and hopefully produce a lot better than they did last year, which last year I've got maybe a tub, which is pretty ridiculous for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 10 to 15 foot rows of them. I should have a heck of a lot more producing than that. So I've got a good burn going right now. I've got my little fire protector here. He's gonna start putting it out as soon as it gets past here. We're just trying to get this dead grass burnt around them. That way we can come in here and we can lay down mulch and we can get them all pruned up, and they're gonna look great. This one's really close to the barn, so I'm gonna keep a pretty good eye on this one, keep it under control. Of course, I've got my assistants out here. I got Oakley the dog. I got my oldest son over there. And of course, I've got the hardest working dude who's like found the pamphlet to this backpack I got for carrying him around with, and he's like chewing on that thing. So he's busy, busy, busy. So I really wanted to till today, but we got like a ½ inch of rain, and it is really muddy. It's just not gonna work. I mean, it's so waterlogged. It'll take a couple days for this to dry out. And I actually started this yesterday, this tiller, but my belt slipped off. So I've got to take these screws out, and I got to put that belt back on. It's not a hard fix. I just didn't have the tools, and it was getting dark yesterday. So, and now I can't do it. That's why, you know, I should have just got started earlier. But I'm gonna pull this back into the garage, and we're just gonna have to wait for this to dry. You're not even gonna be able to see them in here, but these tiny things right here are goji berries. I have black and I have scarlet or red goji berries, and they are starting to come up, and they are tiny little sprouts. But they're coming up. Back here, tons and tons of cabbage I've got going on. Spinach is coming up. Tons of tomatoes, looking really good and healthy. Got a bunch of varieties. Beefsteak. Romas. I can't even think of all of them right now, but I got a ton. Brandy wines. These are doing excellent. And on the other side are peppers. I'm kind of trying to get this as hot as I can, so I'm not going to open this up, but I got a bunch of early jalapenos coming up. There's the early jalapenos. Cayenne peppers coming up, so doing pretty good over here. I just planted, these are sunflowers in the terracotta pots, and the other one's more tomatoes. And over here I've started potting watermelon, and so these can't be in pots for too long. They do get their roots get all jammed up if they're in there for too long, so I don't want to plant them too early. But it is the end of March, and so I am going to, I think, have them ready to plant by the time our last frost comes, which will be, you know, mid-April or into April. And so hopefully I can get them out as soon as the ground warms up. So I'll probably try to shoot for May, early part of May, depending on how they look. I got a bunch of different kinds. I've got these sugar babies, Jubilees, and then a bunch of crimson sweet. These are like your normal, like medium-sized watermelons. This is going to be like your ice box, like your small watermelons. They're really sweet. And these are going to be like your really long, like picnic-sized ones. So I'll have a good little variety for myself and to sell at the farmer's market. I'm also going to try to get these different basil things potted in some plants. And I'm going to try artichoke this year, which I wish I'd have done it about a month ago. But it is what it is. I just got this seed packet. I got it for free. I got it from somebody. And so I'm gonna try it anyway. Sometimes I get lucky every once in a while. Over here, we just planted a bunch of herbs. So I've got mint, parsley, rosemary. I guess that's all I got. No, chives. I've got chives in some of the bigger ones. So I'm gonna try to sell those. I've painted terracotta pots. So like different kinds. Like this one over here is a little unique. It's got like all kinds of designs over it. It's not the prettiest. I'm not the best painter. I had my kids help me, but I've got the name of the herb written on there. So just a little thing I'm going to try this year at the farmer's market. This is rosemary. So I've got them painted up just to give it a little bit of uniqueness. So I found, like, if I find stuff like this at a garage sale or something, I'll, you know, this was free. It was in a box of free stuff, and I thought, man, I could plant some mint and some what did I plant? Paprika in here. Well, no, it's not paprika. Parsley. Parsley in here. So I figured you could put this by your windowsill, and when you're having tea or something, you can grab a leaf off of the tea. You know, if you're cooking or something, you can throw some parsley in your soup, you know, and just set them by the windowsill. They're kind of a nice little matching set there. You know, it was free to me. The seeds are pretty a small amount. You know, you're talking less than a penny for a, you know, you get a seed packet for free or something, which I do a lot of. For some reason they find me, and you know, you basically sell those for $2 or $3 a piece, and you didn't spend any money. You know, I know it's not a whole bunch, you're not like making millions here, and I can use it myself if I don't sell it, so I always think of it that way. No matter how small the plot of land that you live on, you can always plant something and just help. Just even a little bit goes a long way. You know, you plant a tomato plant or a couple tomato plants, and a couple pepper plants or whatever, maybe some beans in a container. You know, even if you live on a balcony, you can still plant something. You know, no matter how small of an area you have, there's always a way. So can't let that be an excuse.